Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I want to talk about the 3 ways that women touch you to communicate that they like you. Women will tell you that they like you in many different ways, but they're usually going to be indirect and they're not going to be as outspoken and as obvious as the signs that guys give, simply because that's the way that the female sexual strategy works. She doesn't want to seem like she's trying too hard, that she is too into you. It looks bad on her part. Also, it's just the natural way for the man to pursue the woman. It always has been that way, is and always will be. And so if the situations are reversed, there's a great risk to her reputation if she takes too much effort or she is too obvious about her interest in front of others. And so there are some socially calibrated, subtle, sometimes sneaky ways that women will show interest to you without alerting everyone to the situation. Eye contact is one of them. You can always tell that a girl likes you if she's talking to someone and always flicking her eyes towards you. It's subtle enough that no one can say, oh, she's into you, but some people can feel it, but it's not like so overly gratuitous that it's obvious and it makes her look bad. And then there are more obvious ways, but that are still can be construed as friendly because, again, she's not outright saying I like you or giving you a compliment, though women will give you compliments. And so touch is one of the best ways that a woman will show interest. Besides eye contact and obviously telling you straight up that she wants you, but even compliments can sometimes be a bit deceiving. Touch and eye contact are one of those things that women are really not going to give you too many false flags. They're going to be pretty obvious with it because it's so animalistic and primal that, because it's so close to the root of their sexuality, touch and eye contact, those are two very direct things. It's a pretty damn good sign that if she's giving you these 3 ways that she's touching you, she likes you. Now the first one can be ambiguous, and sometimes women can use it to kind of feel you out, but they'll touch your elbow. Now this is something that you learn how women touch and you can replicate it and you kind of copy it. Women will touch you in a way that you don't even really notice it. This is something that Zamparion talked about in Alabaster Girl. It was very astute observation by him. And what he said was that, when a woman is talking to you and she'll touch you on the elbow, you might be aware that something just happened, but it's so fluid, like she's kind of in the middle of a sentence and she's like, yeah, and then I saw you, right? I remember seeing you at that Starbucks one time, but I didn't get to see you. Like, it's just kind of a hidden gesture. I mean, it's kind of coming under, but it's such a universal moment where I know that things have possibly taken a turn. It can still be friendly because the thing about the elbow and the arm is it's a very safe area. You have a very platonic feel here, but she's still extending herself towards you. So I feel like, let's say if there's any other signs going on, lots of eye contact, lots of flirting, and there's no extraneous situation. You'll see a lot of bartenders though, and a lot of nightlife women. They'll maybe be at the table, hey guys, how are you? What can I get for you? Because she wants to get her tips, right? And maybe one of you says something funny and she'll go, hi, that's cute. And she'll kind of tap you on the elbow, right? That's a very platonic way to, like, I'm flirting with you, but then that's just gonna make the guy like her and then want to give her a big tip. It's happened to me, it's happened to everyone. It's just how game works. But if there's no extraneous situation where a girl's trying to get something from you, maybe, there's a party and, you're smoking weed and she's like, oh, hey, how are you? And she's just trying to, get a hit from you, or, she's trying to get a drink from you, or she's trying to get whatever. If there's none of those situations, and then maybe there's another sign where there's a lot of eye contact, 100% she likes you. Or it's a bit of a testing the waters thing. I've noticed that when a girl touches my elbow and maybe I get too excited and I kind of like shift into overdrive, I notice it and I'm like, yeah, and I get more animated and I get more expressive and my body language becomes more expressive. Then I can kind of see her go, okay, because what she was doing was she was extending some interest, but because it's kind of a halfway point where you're not really sure if it's super interested or not, then she is just using it to as a litmus test, and she's testing the waters. But it is a very good sign, and it's usually the first place that a woman will touch you and to possibly start the next phase of the seduction. And then the other one that would be Close to this is the knee. Now you gotta be really careful. If she like puts her hand on your thigh, okay, that's huge, right? And that should be super obvious to you guys. But the knee is kind of like, it's the elbow of the leg, right? So if you guys are sitting down and talking and she kind of like taps your knee instead of tapping your elbow because you're not standing up, then you just treat it the same as the elbow. Like, it's a bit more intimate though. And it's under the table usually, so it is a little bit, I would say it's like an 80% chance she likes you. Then that's also a really good sign. But it's still socially calibrated enough that if like you were talking to your friend, right? You're talking to your buddies and you're like, hey man, hey, maybe he's looking at something and you see a pretty girl and you tap his elbow, his knee, and you're like, hey, look at this. It's a very social way of getting someone's attention or touching someone. Now, the one that all of you probably know is the punch, right? Now, I'm not saying if she comes over and just decks you in the face, it's probably a really good sign that she either completely hates you or completely loves you. I don't know if you're like Vikings or some shit, but no, what I'm talking about is, you're talking to a girl and maybe you tease her and she goes, because she's a girl and she's probably not gonna hit you that hard, so it's gonna be playful and you're just gonna be like, haha. Whenever a girl is punches me because, maybe I tease her or, she'll say something like, oh yeah, you must say that to all the girls. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And she'll go, oh, you're such a jerk. Like that. That is, usually it's you're such a jerk, or she'll kind of have like that teasing, like, oh, fuck you kind of expression. 100% she's into it. She really, really likes you. I love that moment where a girl, I love when girls hit me. No, I usually like to do the hitting in a consensual sexual fashion. But I'm not advocating you abuse women. I'm definitely not advocating that you get abused by women. Call the domestic abuse hotline if you're getting punched by women on a regular basis. But if you're getting that playful, like playground 5th grader, I'm trying to show you that I like you, pushing you in the sand kind of display of affection, then it's a really good sign that she likes you. And she'll usually punch you in the arm or the chest. Now, it's actually interesting. The closer she gets to intimate areas, the more of a sign of interest it is, right? If she touches your elbow, okay, now she's holding your hand, woo, okay. If she's rubbing your chest, then that's a big sign, and that's actually the next one, chest. Now, the way that women touch your chest is they'll put their hand on your chest. This happens a lot when a girl's walking past and you like say something like, wow, you're really beautiful. And she kind of goes, oh, thanks. And she'll kind of like put her hand on your chest and kind of rub it down. Or if you're at a club or a bar and you're locked in, I had this happen a lot where I'm against the wall and she's standing in front of me and she puts her hand on my chest as she's talking to me. That is a huge, huge sign of interest because it's a very submissive way to express yourself because it's kind of like I'm placing myself on you. Think of like when you're cuddling with a girl, and she's laying on your chest. It's a very submissive, I'm being taken care of you. And so if you're imagining yourself, you're the big guy and she puts her hand on your chest, she's kind of placing herself into your care and she's close enough to do that. So whenever I'm in a bar or club and a girl puts her hand on my chest, this is a very, very big sign of interest. And so when they do express themselves this way, you want to reciprocate. Once she starts touching your elbow and your knee, maybe find a place in the next couple minutes to return that touch. But remember, when women are doing it, they're usually very smart with it. They're talking to you and then they're doing it as they're talking to you. They're not like, I'm touching you, right? Unless they want to get really, really sexual. But they're just going to do it as they're talking to you, and then it's going to be not disguised, but it's just not going to be overt because it's like everyone's paying attention to this and you're doing this it's like, hey, I like you, but I'm talking to you and we're having this conversation. So when she does this, return it. When she punches you, you just want to kind of like laugh like she's your dumb little sister, and she thinks she's strong and you're just like, ha ha ha. That's the best response to when a girl punches you. But then you can take that as a sign that maybe you can start returning some touch and then you can touch her elbow. If she starts putting her hand on your chest, the good mirror of this is to wrap your arm around her lower back. So if she's talking to you at the bar, and let's say she's like this and talking to you, you're here, and you just want to be like, yeah, talking, da-da-da. And then you can actually escalate that to a kiss. And if she's really comfortable, you can actually start grabbing her ass. And then once you get to this point in the seduction, you're pretty close to where you could take her home, right? Because the reason that she's showing this interest is she's saying, I want to touch you, and then maybe later on I want to touch you in other areas. And so you reflect that interest, you escalate it, and then you take her home. That's game, that's seduction. And so even though girls are showing you these signs of interest, you have to do something about it. You can't just say, oh, she likes me. You have to actually learn how to take that game and turn it into something from that sign of affection. Now, if you need a process that'll kind of wrap all this up, and it'll teach you how to take signs of interest and turn that into taking your girl home or getting a date even, or just getting a phone number in the first place. But even if you do want to take that to the next level and then sleep with her and then get her as a girlfriend, we have something in the description below. It's called One Date. Check it out. It'll teach you a grand, simple process for taking signs of interest or just approaching girls in general, getting them on dates, getting them home, fucking them, and then even turning them into a girlfriend if you want. So that's One Date. It's in the description below. Okay, so those are the 3 ways that women are gonna touch you that you may be aware of, you may not. This one's a bit ambiguous sometimes, but it's usually a good sign. This is definitely a good sign, and this is a super good sign, and she's down to fuck. Cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Follow me on Instagram, like, subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.